Decennial Odyssey podcast, where we discuss life from the point of view of people born in the late 1970s to the early to mid 1980s. We discuss growing up analog and navigating adulthood in a digital world. Please come join us as we look to uncover what it actually means to be a Zenny.
Good afternoon, Rem.
Hi.
What's going on with you? It has been a while. I think we've been recovering
From
the Hate Ones
Hate Ones
Hatecast.
episode, yeah.
Holy shit, was that something?
Man, I'm telling you, I don't do as well with heat as you and Jamie do, and oh my God, bro. I'm very happy I did it. Very happy I survived. But yeah, that was an experience, man. I was fucked up that whole day.
So the next day, yeah, my GI system was a little, but other than that,
It was fun as hell.
yeah, it was fun. It was as fun to edit that episode as anything else.
Yeah, you did a killer job on
Like,
that.
thank you. And I laughing my ass off, like literally getting weird looks from my wife, like, what the fuck's going on over there? Like, what the fuck's so funny? And I'm like, it's a hate cast.
So
I
yeah,
had a lot of fun.
we took a little breath in between, and we're back for sort of a little mini filler episode here.
Yeah, this is December 8th. We are quickly approaching the holiday season. I hate it every year.
Yeah.
Every year that passes, I hate it even more and more and more. But other than that, what did we come to talk about?
Well, you know, we were initially, me and Bob had talked about doing an end of the year episode because it's been such an interesting year personally, professionally, and even just in the entertainment in the world. So, but we still got a few weeks left. And I feel like calling it now, we're going to miss some interesting shit.
Mm-hmm.
So what I said is we should just burp into the mic for about 45 minutes. We'll just ping pong it back and forth, wet burps, dry burps.
Oh, we're gonna be like Charlie and his uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the fizzy lifting drink.
Yeah, we're going to fucking fly up to the ceiling. No, something really
there we go.
interesting. There it is.
There we see. See, I'm coming down now.
Something really interesting happened this week, and we decided to talk about it because it feels historic. Yeah, something happened in New York this week, Bob. What happened?
All right. So in New York this week, the CEO of United Healthcare, one of the largest healthcare insurance company providers, was, depending on how you want to look at it, he was either murdered, assassinated. You could call it he was assassinated. And essentially, whoever did this had scoped him out. They were caught on camera. Very hard to see exactly what they looked like, but our government does such a good job with security and AI that this person was able to shoot him on a street, ride away on a bicycle,
And
then grab a cab, and then use the New York City subway to leave the city. And the only images they have of him are his back facing away from the camera on the sidewalk, and then one somewhere where he was walking around where you get like the look of him with like his hood up.
Yeah, anybody you wouldn't be able to identify.
Yeah.
Shiesty on.
Yep.
First thing I want to say about this. That's the first thing I want to say about this. Here's the thing, people. It's the trolley problem, right? He killed one dude, and in that simple move, this kid has kept millions alive.
But
You know?
do you mind explaining to people why that's the case?
Okay, so United Healthcare did something really interesting this last year. I believe it might have been longer.
And by interesting, you mean terrible?
Terrible. They developed an AI algorithm that by default turned down claims without any actual human eyes seeing them at all. We're talking about chemotherapy for kids. We're talking about anesthesia for chemotherapy for children. We're talking about elderly patients basically being left to die. The thing about the AI was it was rejecting 90% of their cases. So ultimately what was happening is at this man's hand, after agreeing to sign certain things into law for the company, millions of people have died because of this guy. And the other thing that's interesting is a bunch of letters have started appearing online. People's letters to United Healthcare. I read one yesterday from a nurse who basically sent a letter saying, and this was before all this, obviously, you guys are the devil. I just had to watch a boy die of cancer because you wouldn't approve his chemo and his anesthesia. And like the end of the letter was, I literally hope all of you burn in hell. And that's one from a nurse, someone in the industry. I can tell you, and I've talked to you about this, Bob. I take care of my mom. I sacrificed my life to do that. I don't have a life. I take care of my mom and work or try to work. That's what happens. And I love her to death. But first thing that happened when I went in is I was told by an agency in Massachusetts that, oh, you're taking care of your mom who had a broken back and was invalid at the fucking time, or invalid. And they were like, yeah, that's like $800 a week that you're going to make for doing that. That isn't why I did it. I went there not knowing that was a thing that could even fucking happen. So they immediately give me timesheets, okay? And it was to be filled out 5 days a week, the hours that I helped her. I helped her 24 hours a day. But they're like, pick 5 and just write them down and write next to them what you did. So it's like laundry, dishes, food, everything. Every fucking thing. So then so a case agent comes to the house, right? And they're like, ready to start paying. And they say to my mom, did you ever own a business? She's like, yeah, 35 years ago that got closed down. Oh, we can't approve your son as your provider unless you provide that. She's like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? So they found a red tape loophole to get people stuck on. And I'll be honest with you. I said to my mom when they asked her, I'm like, don't mention your fucking business. Because financially it's done nothing for us. It went under 35 years ago. And they're going to use that. And sure enough, for 8 months, I'm owed probably close to $12,000 from Fall River, Massachusetts. And I won't name the agency because I'm going to make sure somebody there gets shot too. But I'm just kidding. I don't have any means to do that. You're all going to fucking die. But ultimately, I got it. And when my mom watched it, super like, she's an old lady, and she got it too right away. She was like, oh, they found one of them. I promise you on my heart and soul, the kid who did this lost a family member. Could it have been a son, a brother to cancer? Sure. Could it have been a mother? Sure. Could it have been a grandparent who they basically said, fuck you, go home and die? Sure. But I promise you, he wasn't just picking a person. This motherfucker John Wicked this dude, bro. He planned this thing so well.
Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga, bro.
Boogeyman.
Yep, he came in the dark. Even the fucking footage, bro, it's superhero shit. Dude's walking out in New York. Dude pops up behind him. Fucking made a silencer for the gun. Knew the gun was going to jam because it was supposedly built by him so it couldn't be traced. Gun jams. He drops the clip, pops a new one in within like 5 seconds. This dude knew everything that was going to happen, had everything planned. 3 right, 2 in the back, whatever. The shells had 3 words written on them. Defend, depose, and deny. I might be wrong about one of them. But those were on the shells, etched in with metal, that shot this man. Come to find out, those 3 words are the title of a book. And it's a book about people in the American healthcare system who've been left to die because an insurance company's first obligation, first desire, we deny before we accept. That's just the reality. So for me, being so burnt out and seeing what they did to my mom, for me, I'm not going to lie. This doesn't represent Bob. This is my view on this.
You looked at it and said, couldn't happen to a nicer person.
It was one of those things where I was like, I'll be honest. I said, finally, I think that it takes one brave person to do one brave thing that sometimes is morally ambiguous to start a revolution. That's all it takes.
I mean, I've been on here talking about how we need more people who are willing to revolt and to create a revolution for what we all want. We all want a better life. We all want better things. And what happened this week is just a microcosm of things that we are upset about. And somebody did something, and Mike Remy said moral ambiguity. Yes, you can agree. Was that the greatest thing to do? No.
But did he make a statement?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't condone murder, but I do condone getting the attention of the people in power and making them make changes. Again, I understand I'm walking a fine line with how I'm talking about it, but I just think back to in my lifetime, I remember when private health insurance started. It was in our childhood. That was when it was a thing. There was no
Red
fucking-
Cross.
Yeah.
Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Yeah, Blue Cross Blue Shield in Massachusetts. Tufts, Blue Cross Blue Shield,
Harvard.
and Harvard Pilgrim.
Yep.
Of those, Blue Cross Blue Shield is barely still around, and Harvard Pilgrim emerged victorious.
Yep.
And
And then became shitty.
yeah. And I remember using that because we had that at one of our jobs. And I remember I had to go in for something where I needed a referral. And this was something that just struck me like, why the fuck is...
Yep. Extra step
So
to throw you off.
They said, you need a referral. So I went to my doctor. And then my doctor gave me the referral. And I did not get a referral. So they told me I needed a referral every time I saw this specialist for something. And then I noticed things because I would go online and check my health stuff. And I noticed there was like a bank of referrals. And my doctor said, once we sent you once, we figured it would be, at most, it would be like 7 referrals. So we gave you like 6. We gave you 6 on top of the one we gave you on the spot so you could skip steps. And I said, then why the fuck do they
Why are they there?
make me get referrals if this is the case? And what a part of the game is this? Because I know that there's billing going on for this stuff. And I just, and then when our premiums go up, I think back to stuff like that. And I go, ugh. And so, yes, I agree with Rem, because I have had doctors and specialists tell me, you're going to get denied the first time. Put it in again.
Yeah, you have to fight.
Go through the entire process.
Yep.
You'll get it the second time.
No, fuck you. Why do I have to do that? Why is everything set in place meant to dehumanize me? I'm struggling as it is. I need this insurance. I'll give you another example. It's agencies, bro. It's the end for agencies. Like, real talk. Like this week, I'm about to embarrass myself and I don't give a fuck because I'm really shit. This week, right? I fucking go to the grocery store. Get a carriage of groceries. Not a lot. I'm on fucking food stamps, all right? I'm just going to be real with you motherfuckers. So, my food stamps fill on the 2nd, okay? So I'm at the grocery store. This shit's imperative. I'm not eating otherwise, bro. So I'm there, get my carriage, go through. My card's empty, all right? But I called before I left my house. There was money on it, okay? Humiliating, man. I don't know if you ever had that happen, but you're fucking there with a carriage full of food you can't pay for, bro. Everybody looks at you. This isn't a fucking fairy tale. It's not going to be a show on ABC where some southerner's going to walk up and be like, don't worry about it, darling. Clearly that's a week of groceries that you need to survive. I got you. It doesn't fucking happen where I live. Doesn't fucking happen, bro. Period. So there's no saviors coming out to make me less embarrassed. The grocery store isn't doing anything to make me less embarrassed. So I go home and I call. I wait 45 fucking minutes. I have to call 3 times to get a human, bro. I'm looking up online. How do I get a human? Because I keep getting disconnected. So call. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? They're like, yeah, all your food stamps was spent in New York this morning. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I said, spent in New York on a mass food stamp card. And the whole balance was spent at once? I've never done that. I've never done that. There was no red flags in your system to protect me? And now my money's gone. So what do I do? Can you guys give me fucking vouchers so I can go get food? They told me to fuck myself, bro. They said, fuck yourself, essentially. Like, that's what they told me. They're like, oh, now we have to. So I was so fucking flabbergasted. I said some bad shit to that lady on the phone, I'll admit it. Hung up. Next day, I go into DTA, Department of Transitional Assistance. How you doing? I'm clearly not well. So I call them. It takes me so long to reach a person. You know, it's usually going to be a foreigner. I'm not trying to sound like a dick, but half the time I don't understand what the fuck they're saying. I don't understand when they say their name. All that shit. So I finally get someone. I'm like, yo, this happened. You're telling me my money was spent in New York and you didn't do anything. Like, what the fuck? That was genuinely my angle. Like, what the fuck?
Well, they figure that most people will just let it go and won't go as far as to heaven and earth.
Ding, ding, ding. So I decided, you know what? I'm going into DTA. We're just doing a quick recap. So I'm in DTA, and it's a shit place. It's supposed to make you feel like shit. You get frisked when you walked in. You go through a metal detector, like the whole process. Dehumanize the person who already feels dehumanized.
Well, you can't bring in firearms.
No, yeah, I know that.
They're worried about that.
But it's just the whole thing's fucking weird. Go up to the front. I'm like, I need to talk to someone because my fucking money's gone because of you guys. And now you're telling me I have to order a new card and that in the interim there's nothing I can do. Lady looks at me. She's like, yeah, we have to look into it. If it's fraud, you could be involved. I can't tell you what I felt at that moment, Jamie, but it was one of the few times in my
Bob.
life
Bobby,
I would have got.
you called me Jamie.
Sorry, bro. Because I would have gotten violent. Not to her, but I would have broken a window. I would have thrown a chair. That she fucking looked at me in the face, and I'm like, in New York, like, so there's cops in there, right? And I say, I'm not well at this point. And I'm like, you guys are a fucking joke. I look her dead in the face and say that. Cops don't say nothing. Nobody says anything.
They know.
Yeah. She's like, here, call the fraud department in a week. I'm like, how do I eat? That's what I really said to her. I said, how do I eat, though? She's like, I don't know, go to a food pantry. Oh, my God, I wanted to grab her, open her mouth, and hock a fucking loogie in it. So bad. So bad. So they basically were like, fuck you. Fuck you, we're going to look into it, but fuck you in the meantime, dude. I went out to the parking lot and beat the shit out of my car. I mean, like, when Bob's scary, when Remy's scary, it's not a pretty thing. Because I knew I couldn't do anything else. I'm fucking wailing my car. Boom, 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 right? Security guard comes out.
It's all you have because you feel powerless.
Yep. Security guard comes out and I go like this. You do not want any of this. Walk back inside. And he walked back inside.
He's like, I don't get paid enough for this shit.
No, I let him know that I looked at him, but he saw my eyes and I'm like, my beef ain't with you, bro. But if you come over here, it's gonna be. I don't care. When you have nothing to lose, you have nothing to lose.
And that's big picture here, and I really don't mean to cut you off because I know that
please,
is
I'm ranting.
I know, but that is a big thing for you right now.
Yeah.
I truly feel that the powers that be in our country, they think that we are further away from being fed the fuck up than we are.
Mm-hmm.
And what Remy is describing is a perfect example of that. What we have been describing about what the gentleman did to the CEO of United Healthcare is another example. And I don't want, because when I say revolution, I there's a part of my brain that acknowledges that violence has to happen. And that sucks. I know what will come out of violence.
More violence.
But I'm also someone that knows that to get where I want us as people to go, there have to be sacrifices.
And ultimately, the interesting thing that happened after the shooting was every fucking medical insurance provider immediately went to their owners and investors page, which every one of them has, which is usually a page of about 16 rich white people. Yep. Always rich white people. They're old ladies and old white men. And that was always their way of putting their dick in your mouth, being like, this is the
These
CEO.
are the people running this stuff.
These
we
are
are the
people
people
fucking
that
you.
care.
Yep. You'll never see us on the floor, but we're the ones who fucking you. When you feel it inside you, when it hurts, when you're grunting, we're the one behind you making noise. You know what I'm saying?
It's very graphic, Rem.
Yeah, that's how it feels. I went through it. I went through it for so long. I'm still going through it. I'm owed money. And the unemployment thing made me, it pushed me so far over an edge. Basically, the go-to is you treat the consumer like a criminal before you treat the criminal like a criminal. My identity, at this point, my identity's been fully stolen. I've lost a ton of money with PayPal. They're not reimbursing me. I have to get a lawyer. I've talked to the fucking attorney general about it. I have 2 letters and an email about PayPal from the attorney general. You listening, Elon? You cocksucking fucking piece of shit.
Does he still have fuck with them?
I don't know, but he invented it.
I know.
So. I'm just always gonna hate him because he's a piece of shit. But but it was a point where I'm like, these people don't know that like we're dangerous. People who don't know how they're paying their fucking insurance next month are dangerous. We're dangerous because we're at the bottom, man. You know, we're at the bottom, and I think there were some people who are like, hey,
desperate times call for desperate measures.
Yeah, and going to jail for killing a piece of shit. First of all, hey, NYPD, I got some really bad news. You're not catching this guy. Period. That's not a thing that's ever going to happen. I know the shooter. I don't know the shooter. But my point is but I made that statement because we all know the shooter, motherfucker. Because some of us are the shooter, okay? You need to understand that. But you're not going to find him. A whole fucking country is harboring that dude right now. They're harboring him. Bro, are you out there? Come to my house. Me and my mom want to shake your hand. I'll put you up, bro. I'll sleep on the fucking couch. You get the bed, bro. But I'll put you up for a year. And anyone in this country will. You ain't going to kill Jack Reacher. You ain't going to catch Jack Reacher, bro. You ain't going to catch John Wick. That motherfucker carved the shell, picked his outfit, knew the time where that dude would be, silenced him, and disappeared. And right now, even maybe 10,000 people know who he is. You know what's happening right now? Something is sucking that dude's dick. If he's into guys, it's a guy. If he's into girls, it's a girl. But he's winning right now. He's sitting back smoking a joint. Your homie's dead. He's never coming back. He died scared. Didn't know. Shot in the back's beautiful, right? Beautiful. He didn't look that motherfucker in his eyes. That dude was walking from the Hilton, from his 5-star residence. Probably going to get a beef Wellington. And suddenly you hear
fucking beef Wellingtons.
You hear 3 pops, right? Pop, pop, pop. Ooh, that
well, to
stinks.
be honest, he probably only heard like one.
I know.
Sorry, terrible joke.
And it's not though. It's that meme of he blinked and he woke up in hell and he's like, "Whoa, how did I get in here?" Because he didn't wake up in heaven, motherfuckers. Those people don't do it. Bill Burr said it best. You know what? Someone killed a serial killer. Oh no, someone killed a serial killer who's killed more people than Hitler. Seriously, the Hitlers in the what 600,000. Supposedly 90 million cases were rejected by United Healthcare a year. Okay? So I think this is a wake-up call.
Did you? I only know this because my wife brought it to my attention.
I wanted to look you guys in the eyes. You're not going to catch him, baby.
So she brought up the anesthesia angle.
Okay.
And what she brought up was that how much it costs to get knocked out.
Yep.
It costs a shitload of money to get knocked out. And how there were things going on behind the scenes. I'm not talking New York. I'm not talking health insurance as much as I'm talking our government.
Yeah.
Like our government was going to make it harder for insurances to cover anesthesia. And then this happened. And that magically went away in a couple states.
Yep.
Oh, no. We're New York, shockingly, was one of them.
One of the healthcare companies, too. I forget the name.
Oh, remember what we said about...
Yep.
It was literally like the fucking greaseball owner of the company that Clark Griswold worked for on Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
Remember what we said about not covering anesthesia?
I was kidding.
We'll cover it.
Yep.
We'll cover it.
Because-
We'll even probably make it less money anyway. How about that?
And a couple healthcare companies yesterday announced that anesthesia will be covered again. So if that's what this kid just did, then he's the first revolutionary I've ever experienced. He did more with one movement than any of those January 6 goons did. I still don't know what the fuck that was about. Come on, bro. Stupid shit. That was white trash shit. But this kid actually thought it out. He's like, no, I'm not going to go break into a building and yell at people who aren't involved. I'm going to take the motherfucker out. And now every other motherfucker is not sleeping good. CEOs aren't sleeping good this week. And they're realizing when they look out the window, oh my God, there's way more of them than us. There's 20 of us, but there are 7 billion of them.
Now, people don't know this. I'm going to talk about it now. But one thing I did talk about with you on our way here was that I saw Facebook posts about people being like, the oligarchs are scared now because we did that. And I mean, the cynic in me is like, the oligarchs don't give a fuck.
No, we're talking. No, CEOs.
He was the lowest hanging fruit.
Yeah, shadow government
of a group of CEOs. He made the least amount of money of the top 7. But like, listen, most of them will probably be like, oh wow, that's fucked up. I guess don't have bodyguards.
And take my face off the website.
Yeah, take your face off the website. Have bodyguards. All right, let's have him be the guinea pig for how AI works. And they murder you? All right, maybe we'll tweak the AI algorithms.
Yeah, maybe we'll have actual people review the cases.
Yeah, like the oligarchs, the people, like Remy said, the dark shadows that truly run this, the pyramid at the top of the super elite. Like they look at this because they're the ones who probably are invested into the healthcare business industry.
Maybe they did it. Bro, you made a good point. Maybe this guy did some insider shit that people didn't like, and maybe he was taken out.
Yep.
We don't know.
Yeah. That stuff, and I know it sounds conspiracy theorist, but like at some point, it's not just bullshit.
Because it could, like, again, we're all looking at a revolutionary thing, but if you want to look at all aspects of it, another healthcare company could have just hired a guy to shoot at one of their enemies, We don't know yet. But
could have done it like the fucking Russians do it. You just show up at a fucking cafe, or you fucking slide some radioactive pellets into his beef Wellington and take him out that way.
Turn blue across 2 months and die.
Yeah.
But But yeah, so we don't know. What we think it is a shot of a revolution, and I think a lot of us hope it is. Don't kill people, man. But if one person did something that's going to make some of these other people rethink their policies, is that a bad thing? I don't think so.
Is it fair to say, Rem, when we were kids,
It wasn't like this.
no. Did our parents even need health insurance? Let's take us to the fucking doctor or the dentist.
I don't know. That's a really good question.
Yeah, that's a question we can ask our parents.
Yeah.
I know that, like, for example, my mom never got dental insurance. She, like, for us, she was the one who carried us on her insurance.
Yeah.
And she never got dental insurance, and the only time it was an inconvenience is when my 2 front teeth broke, and I had to get like fake teeth. Cleanings weren't an issue. X-rays weren't an issue.
Yeah.
Retainers weren't an issue. Things like that weren't an issue. And at some point, it did become. And I know I'm using the dental industry, but I feel
That's
they go hand
fine.
in hand.
Yeah, it's all those corporations, bro.
But for me, the issue I take with it is that it's a business, and that's why this all happens. Is because
Privatized too.
treating human beings with illnesses, it does not matter if it's your doctor and you're just going there. It does not matter if it's urgent care. It does not matter if it's an emergency room. It does not matter if you have cancer. It does not matter. It is a business.
Yep.
And the business is
The biggest business in
making
the world.
money.
Yep.
The business is not making people better.
It's not curing you. It's getting you addicted to a product that will keep you on it for the rest of your life.
And what Remy's talked about and what we are talking about with this person and what we're talking about with our ranting and rambling is that it's all a part of a complex system geared for them and not for us.
Yeah. Like, in other words, it used to be like, oh, you could change class. No, now we're in a caste system, essentially. Whatever family you're born into, if they're low class, you stay low class. If they're middle class, you manage middle class. If they're upper class, you're upper class. But it's a caste system. And if you try to break out, this is the shit that happens. They deny your insurance. They deny your food stamps. They want to make it, I'm convinced, they want to make it so these motherfuckers just take themselves out of the picture. Just fucking poor people just go away. We don't want to hear about you anymore. We don't care if you're starving. We don't care if you're sick.
I slightly disagree, only because from the view from 30,000 feet. That's why.
Yeah.
Because I've had a lot of conversations with people about the intricacies and the complexities of the oppression that goes on in our country.
Okay.
We live under the illusions of choice and freedom. We do. It's the greatest selling job that our country has done.
Yeah.
We are the land of the free. Because, let me just go to poor people, okay?
Yeah.
What does our country do for poor people?
I mean,
And I'm not saying it's great. I'm just saying they do things for poor
yeah,
people.
there's agencies in place and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
You brought up one, DTA,
Yeah.
Department of Transitional Assistance. Housing, we have Section 8 housing.
Mass health.
Mass health. But then this is how it gets all fucked up. And I know this from somebody that we worked with who is a landlord for tenements. And they said that they do not take on Section 8. That is their choice.
Yeah.
But they said that what a lot of people who do, there's a certain percentage that you have to offer to Section 8. And what they do is, because you're guaranteed like 2/3 of your rent, they just jack up the rent because they know that the people won't be able to pay the rent as much.
And they'll have
So
to-
you'll make what is okay for you, and if they pay you any extra, it's gravy train.
Yeah.
And when people say, "Oh, they're so hard to evict," it's like, but do people really want them to be evicted? It's guaranteed money from the government.
Yeah.
That's for a landlord. The incentive for somebody in that situation is, I don't have to get off of this assistance.
Yeah.
So that's what they do. For people, poor people, they make it just, depending on what department it is, they make it just good enough.
To incentivize both
Yes.
sides.
Yes. And I'm not saying that's across the board. I don't
No,
thi-
no, I
I don't
understand
think
that.
that's the case for you. Like,
Yeah.
I think if you sitting here, you'd say, I would love not to have to rely on that stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
But there are so many people that have just generation after generation lived it.
Yeah.
It is all they know. And the government likes that because they can control those people.
Keep them in the system.
Those people have something to lose.
Yeah.
And people say poor people don't have anything to lose.
But even then,
Yeah.
see, doing something for the poor, but there's ulterior motive.
Yeah, I know. And I'm
Sucks,
speaking
but
to
you're
the
right.
fucked upness. I'm
But
talking
you're
the
right,
fucked
though. There
upness
is-
of our government.
And
there.
even, like, honestly, I do give Massachusetts credit, man. Mass health doesn't exist anywhere in the country.
No.
It's fucking amazing. Like, we're not going to get into it. I'm not going to sit here. Dude, I think I have, like, hot spit melted into the side of the mic. From last
we'll have
week.
to clean it.
I'll have to clean it.
Have to
dude.
clean it. Yeah.
But yeah, I just wish that we wouldn't have to fight so hard for basic rights.
We never had to. The point is, when we were children, we didn't. Our parents didn't have to.
No, there wasn't a huge issue. Just kind of shit just got taken care
Yeah.
of.
And this is a part of when I talk about things like, or even when Jamie's here and we've said it's all a part of the plan. It's all a part of the plan because this is the type of bullshit that goes on when they just put out all this stuff to distract us and divide us. And then we're left with this stuff. How did this happen? Because we were chose to be willingly ignorant as a collection of people.
Yeah.
That is how it happens.
And then sometimes when you all collectively wake up, it's too late. The problem is way too big.
That's why, even though I know that why am I blanking on his name? The guy who writes all the great comics, like V for Vendetta, Moore.
Oh, Alan Moore.
Alan Moore.
Yes.
Alan Moore, first off, he hates every adaptation of his work. He openly says that.
Because they missed the point.
Yeah. He has said, and it is the ultimate compliment he has ever given a
He
work.
doesn't despise Watchmen.
Yeah. The Watchmen is the one he hates the least.
Yeah, which is huge for him.
V for Vendetta, he hates the most.
They lost the
because
point.
he says, you raped my work.
Yeah.
You raped my work was about Britain. You made it about George W. Bush.
Oh.
My work was about the 1980s, and you made it about that.
And the Parliament specifically.
However, there is a line. There is a line that is uttered in the film when he steals closed circuit television, and he talks to the people. Guy Fawkes talks to the people of the country, where he calls them out, but he does it with compassion, and that's what is endearing to me. Like he says, you willingly went along with it, and I don't blame you. I understand why. But this is what they did to us.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm here to undo. And that's what it takes to. That's why, Alan Moore, I understand, but that one line, which I don't even know if it was in your comic, is a brilliant line.
If it's brilliant in his movie, it's from his comic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what we have to I have to sit here. I will take ownership. I have to sit there, and instead of just my knee-jerk reaction being my contempt at all the people that are just willingly ignorant, I just have to say, it's happened. It's done. It's over. Can't change the past.
Yeah.
But we can live in the present and work together to change our future.
It's true.
And that's what it takes. And while I cannot, because of my beliefs, condone what that gentleman did a couple days ago,
it's not hard to understand why.
Yeah. Yep. And it's a reaction.
Yeah.
Every action has a reaction.
And I promise you, on the off chance that I'm wrong and he gets picked up, no, Jerry's going to fully agree that he needs to be put away.
And that would be the ultimate of ultimates. It would be like the guy who used to ride. No, he didn't used to. He was like a vigilante like this. The guy in the New York City subways in the 80s, where they tried to rob him and he shot
him. Yeah.
And the people were like, "Oh, well, he should face crimes for that." And it's like, no, he was protecting himself.
He was scared.
And he didn't go to jail. It's a similar thing. No, I'm not.
That's what Joker's, that shooting in the Joker in the first movie on the subway is based on.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, brilliant. By the way, brilliant storytelling and brilliant narratives right there. But, yeah, even though I don't condone what that gentleman did, I understand, like Remy was saying, and I think that the people, because there's so few people who have absolute control over everything, and they have forgotten, and we have allowed them to forget. We have to take ownership for that collectively. We have, because of our willful ignorance is bliss. Another reference right there, Matrix, one of my favorite lines in a movie.
Yeah, it's Frodo.
Yes. Yep. We allow them to feel that they are safer than they actually should feel.
Yeah.
And what I'm talking about here, peacefully, is I think what our founding fathers planned when they created our great country, this great nation.
Yep.
Is that
the people, by the people.
The people in charge should realize you answer to people.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, if you stray too far from that,
you might not like the
there
answer.
are prices to pay.
Yeah. Yeah. And ultimately, we will see how this plays out. It's still fairly new. It's just, in such a tumultuous time, it's interesting to see something like that happen.
And this is some of the stuff I was talking about with my worry, regardless of who was elected to be president. I'll say it every chance I get. If you think I lean either way, fuck them both, 2024.
Yeah.
But this is the stuff that I was worried about. And you even hinted at it, no matter who was going to be elected. There was going to be violence.
Yep.
On different levels.
Yeah, we don't know where, it could be aimed toward regular people next. Who knows? It's scary out there. But if this was a moment when enough of those fat cat bastards paid attention and were kind of taken aback, And then maybe it's a moment that will down the road foster some change. Maybe the next time they're all sitting in a room and they're deciding on like cutting people or keeping the overhead, maybe they'll think twice. Maybe they'll be like, oh, wait, one guy hated us and he took one of us out. What if everybody hates us? You know? It used to be let them eat cake. Now it's let them eat lead.
I know. But my issue, again, because I'm just cynical,
it won't change anything.
is again sticking with another reference, the one I mentioned in the car. It's gonna be like Hydra, you know, just
Cut off one head and there's another that's just
another
as
two.
bad.
There's another two that will emerge.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just they have their own fail safes in place.
If he was truly important, no one would have got to shoot him in the back.
No,
So,
no. And they would have done it up like, oh, it was a mugging right down the street that went terribly wrong.
that went awry.
What a tragedy.
Yeah. But the other thing don't want to forget to mention this. And I was gonna. So before we cut it off, Bill Burr said something really interesting. He was talking about. He said, "You know what's interesting?
I love Bill Burr.
You know what's interesting? This guy, they got footage of him getting off the bus. They got footage of him getting on the train. They got footage of him riding his bike down the street. Where are these fucking cameras when your average person gets shot on the street in New York?
It's a fair point.
How come suddenly Big Brother saw that motherfucker pick his nose and skip down the road, at least on 14 different cameras, but Cousin Johnny gets shot in front of the pizza place and they don't find his shooter? So now you're telling me you had the capacity to solve more crimes. You just didn't because it wasn't a rich white guy. Well, that's interesting. I wonder how New York feels about that. Oh, wait, I know how they feel. They're fucking pissed. Because a ton of people in New York have lost people they love to crime in New York, just unsolved. But apparently, every fucking street and every building and every business and every red light has a camera. It's just so weird we didn't know that till now.
Related to that, Rem,
Weird.
I also love how we have like 8K cameras on drones, and we have 8K cameras for like all this
But
other
security
stuff.
cameras are one JPEG.
But when it comes to something that is not as big of a deal as this,
Fuzzy.
the footage can only be described as everybody's face looks like a character from a wrestling game from PS1.
Yep, solid polygons. You
Yeah.
can't even tell. Boy, girl, you
Exactly.
can't tell shit.
Yeah.
Um,
It just looks literally like our faces have been peeled on in, yes, those fucking placard
yeah.
pixels.
The other thing
The
that's interesting
pixelation.
is when they showed his face when he was like at the bank or whatever, all these girls now were like, oh, he's so dreamy. That's dangerous too. Let's not take it too far. But, you know, my thought is that he appeared, he did his thing, and he disappeared, and that's going to be it. You know, we'll see what happens. But
There was a very, very dark and twisted joke in my head as you said that.
you should have said it, bro.
I mean, it's fucked up.
No, but say it. Fuck it.
Oh, okay. Have you ever seen the movie Megan is Missing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know what, ladies? If that's your truth, that's how you end up.
He's in a you're in a barrel.
Yep. Josh isn't even my real name.
That scene's creepy, dude, when they pop the barrel up. And
Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, yeah.
That last closing, too,
Yeah.
the closing scene.
Yeah. Which one? The found footage one? Or, well, I know it's all
No,
found
where they're
footage.
burying the girl
Oh, yeah.
alive, and like you
Yeah.
watch the whole
But
thing.
that's probably what a realistic person would do.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. You're trying to bargain for your life with somebody who doesn't have any
No conscience.
No, someone who is a psychopath.
Yep.
A sociopathic serial killer. They get off. They actually get off on that stuff.
Yeah, the more you beg, bro, the more they're going to enjoy killing you.
Yep.
But either way, you know, I will say the dude did it with precision. It was like watching a scene from a movie.
Do you think he was former military
No,
former like
some sort
secret
of
service or
the
some
gun
kind of
handling, the reloading of the clip, the silencer implies some knowledge.
I have to tell you, Remy, it is very hard to make a gun from scratch.
I agree. Well, I don't know, but from what I've heard.
I know through somebody who was in the cannabis industry before it was legalized in our country.
Yeah.
And they were something happened to them where they felt like they needed protection, so they tried to go through the Amazon route.
Yeah.
People track stuff like that, so that's why I say I know it's very hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard to make a gun because the government's looking for stuff like that because they want to be able to trace your guns for reasons like this.
You know, and probably.
And he made his own bullets, you said?
Yeah.
Oh,
And carved
genius.
names in the shell. Yeah.
Genius.
It just.
Genius. That's a fucking Peaky Blinder, like
100%.
right there.
Yep.
Peaky
Blinders.
Do you think maybe?
Courtesy of the Peaky Blinders.
Do you think maybe he was wearing earbuds as he walked up and he was playing Nick Cave's song? Comes a tall,
red
handsome
right
man.
hand. Yeah, what a
With a
great-
homemade gun in his pocket and a red right hand.
that like train gong in the
yeah, and
opening
the
of that.
bing.
Yeah, dude, stop.
It's a incredible song. Incredible what Peaky Blinders did. with
I
that.
was bummed that I'll admit I didn't know the song before it.
I didn't either.
And I'm
It's
like,
fine.
What is
It's
this?
fine. It's right up there, by the way. Season 2 of The Wire, the original version. Tom Waits is way down in a hole.
Yeah.
2 favorite intro songs to a TV show. Very similar songs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably scored by the same person potentially because they have a similar.
because they have that string underneath. That string.
Did we talk
arrangements.
about Penguin?
No, because I didn't watch it.
Okay,
Yeah,
that would make.
you just.
Oh
you,
yeah,
you
don't
told
like
me
to,
to.
You don't like to watch hype shit. I remember, brother.
Yeah. I wait till the hype dies down.
Respect.
I wait till the hype dies down, and then I try to see it with
Unbiased eyes.
non-rose-colored glasses as possible.
Word.
That's what I go. So yeah, next week we'll reconvene.
Jamie wants to come, so we'll come up with something this week.
I'm just saying, if we did the 2024 in recap, I kind of feel like he'll paint himself into a box there with his stuff. Yeah, I mean, I've talked about it a few times on here. Maybe saying I want to be outside my comfort zone was the wrong choice of words for 2024. I have started manifesting
Normalcy.
No, I just say I just want to be happy.
Nice.
As far as blankets go, I mean, I don't know what the fucking karma has in store for me. But,
Yeah, none of us do.
it's my hope that it's not as much as just a blanket statement of I want to live outside my comfort zone.
Nah, 2024. Is it going to be 2024?
It's going to be 2025. It's the closing of 2024.
Holy shit.
And the year flew by.
Yeah. 2025 is going to kick ass, man. We put in a good fight this year. Both of us did. We were resilient. We kept our heads high. 2025 is going to be a year of just fucking amazing shit for us.
I hope so. I'm just going to keep saying that. I just want to be happy in 2025. I just want to be happy in 2025.
Yep.
You know, maybe that means I hit on a lottery ticket.
Yeah, it could mean a lot of things.
And
But-
I don't even need a lot of money.
No, just give me a little bit of an egg
Yeah,
that I can sit on.
Just a little. Yeah, exactly. Like a golden egg from Willy Wonka.
Yep.
Yep.
Fuck
Mhm.
yeah.
So when Veruca comes, I can boot her in the face.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
have to put up with her bullshit.
All right.
All right,
Well,
stay safe out there. Thank you for watching. We'll be back next week with more shenanigans.
is there anything in that? Did you bring that down with you?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that's been down here since the last
No,
time.
water. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So till the next time, everybody, take care. Peace, love, all that shit.